This is a great little tart that you can put together. Lots of flavour, lots of creamy cheese, and one of my favourite cheese is Brie. Now, Brie normally comes from France. That's where they make the good stuff. But we also make really, really good Brie in Australia. But if you ever go to France and you see the little old cheese ladies, they pick up the Brie and they feel it like this to make sure it's ripe. It's got to be soft in the centre, and that's how you know when it's ready to eat. It's almost got to be gooey when you cut it in half, and that's one of the things that you look for. So this is perfect and ready to go. Now, I've cooked a lot with Brie, and most of the wheels of Brie that I've used in big kitchens have been the huge wheels.
Massive ones.
Exactly. And they can be hard to cut in half if you want to get them sliced in the middle, because there's lots of things you can do with them. So I'm going to show you a little trick that I picked up years ago with a little paring knife here. I just cut round the outside here, just a little bit in through that rind there. And once you get to this part here, you grab a piece of string and you take it around the outside and you just sort of put it inside that groove all the way around the outside here. And this is where you grab it a little knot like this and you pull on that, and then, as they would say in French, voila, out it comes. In France, there we go, out it comes.
Oh, wow.
And you can see it's really ripe. It's nice and sticky on the inside.
Beautiful.
Ready to eat. You like that little trick?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Now, while I'm doing this, I've got 2 eggs here. I'd like you to separate them because we're going to use the yolks for brushing the pastry when we put it all together, and the whites we'll discard or put aside, and I'll make a fluffy little meringue.
Later on for you and I like that.
Exactly. Now, with this little piece of Brie, I'm just going to cut it up into little pieces and put it with the pears that I've got in this bowl. Now, the pears have been peeled, and I've taken the core out of it. And look at this Brie. It's ready to go. It's all
soft and gooey. I love it.
It's fantastic. Now, I've got some rosemary here as well. Rosemary that's been picked from the garden. And these are the young shoots, so they're just ready to go. You can put a little bit of the stem in there. And I'm just picking the herbs nice and easily. And I love your technique of separating the eggs.
I'm trying to save my little pause for later because I think you'll have me doing something else potentially.
Parsley, chives, basil and spring onion. Just a little bit of it picked, roughly chopped straight into here. I'll get an egg, another egg. So we're using lots of eggs for this.
We are.
I'm going to crack it into the middle here like this. And I'm going to put a little bit of cream for some extra creaminess. In that goes a nice little dollop of that. And that'll sort of bind together the pears and the cheese. And so it all stays nicely bound together when I put it in the puff pastry. A little pinch of salt goes in there as well. So I'll grab some herbs here. I've got some basil that I'll pick and tear apart. They say with basil that it's best to tear it apart into little pieces rather than cut it. I don't know why, but that's what they say.
Isn't it because of the way the flavour's released?
So it doesn't bruise.
There
we go.
So
Pop that over there.
Why.
Well, I'll just...
He's fabricating. He's lying.
I'm just teasing you. So once you've got the herbs in there, I want you to put some pepper, a little drizzle of olive oil, and with a spoon that's there, I want you to mix it around to combine the eggs, the pear and the cheese.
What a concoction. Bit of salt, or you've done that?
I've done the salt already.
I can't believe I'm trying to add more. Okay, here we go.
I've salted that mixture already. Now, I've got the puff pastry here. I've got some baking paper. I'll just peel off the top here. Now, one of the tricks to using this pastry, take it out of the freezer if you're using frozen stuff and let it come up to room temperature. The other little tip that I'll give you, Preeya, is make sure you take the blue paper off it.
You always direct this to me. I feel like you really truly believe I'm at home using the blue paper. I'm not.
Well, it's just
because my baking skills are a little bit lower than the average bear, I still take the plastic off before I cook it.
It's one of those things that, you know, before you know it, you've made everything, it looks delicious, and then you realise that the blue plastic is on the bottom of it. And that's when things go pear-shaped.
Oh,
do you like how I did that?
Excuse the pun.
Exactly. Now, I've got the pastry on there, and this is where we're going to have a little bit of fun. You've got that yolk over there as well, and I've got a brush over here, and you're wondering where this is going.
I am.
I haven't told you one single bit about this, so I'm going to start cutting some strips of pastry, and what we'll do is we're going to egg wash the little square that's in front here, and we're going to build a barrier around it with the pastry. Really easy to do, and anyone can do this, and it's a great way of using puff pastry.
Do you want me to whisk them for you, Chef?
Just with a brush like this. All right, and with a bit of egg yolk, you're going to brush around the side here, and I'm going to put the pastry on, and you're going to keep brushing it, and the egg is what makes it stick together. So I'll peel off the pastry there.
So you peel as you go. This is interesting. I peel once.
You peel it off the whole lot.
I do it quickly. Do I need to brush this?
You can brush that. The reason I do this is because it's a lot easier to pick the pastry up, especially when it's soft like this. A lot easier to pick it up and move it around while the plastic's on it. See, I pick it up like this,
Yes.
and I just peel it off, making sure that I remember to peel the plastic off. One of the most
This
important
has
things.
clearly happened to you at some point in your journey.
It
it's
horrifies
like in
me.
medicine. You see something in a patient and you miss it, and then you forever treat you never forget that patient. This is the pastry for you.
Exactly.
I know your anxiety here, mate. I'm here for you.
This is my patient that didn't make it.
Yeah, okay.
So you keep brushing away there, and I'm going to stack this pastry up. And once we've got a few layers of this pastry all around the outside, a nice thick border, I'll show you how to put the filling in there and finish it off.
Nice.
Okay, last little one on there. Give that a little bit of an egg wash.
You've built a little nest here.
Yes, it's going to hold everything together. Now,
Nice.
here's another little tip. Because it's puff pastry, it's all going to want to rise up. Now, in the centre here, I want it to stay down. So we're going to do a little technique called docking.
Okay.
And what I do is I put the fork in there and punch little holes in it, because in between these layers of pastry is layers of butter. And when the heat hits it, the butter creates steam, and that's what makes the layers rise. So by putting all the little holes in here,
You stop that from happening.
we stop it from happening.
Nice. You're
You
a
like that?
scientist.
Well, science, that's my favourite
That's
subject.
was
Yeah, well,
it?
that's what we do. Now, if you can pass me that honey there.
Yes.
Now, I've got the Brie and the Pear here. I'm just going to pop it into the bottom here, and you can see that Brie's stuck together. When it cooks, it'll become nice and gooey. And I'll spread all this out to the outside there. The egg and the cream will make it really nice and creamy, but also hold it together.
Okay.
It's almost like a quiche. Now, we've got a little bit of honey on there because honey makes it nice and sweet and delicious, just like me. And then, of course, the other, don't take that away, we need
Okay.
that still, the Brie on top.
Oh, that's why you cut it in half.
What did the French say? The piece de resistance.
This whole
Something
time
like
I
that.
was wondering what the string and the half thing is. That's lovely.
Oh, there we go. And then we put
Okay.
some honey over the top of that. Grab that extra virgin olive oil. Grab the sesame seeds. Grab the peppercorns.
Okay.
We're going to put a bit more on there. A lovely little rosemary
Pour me
stem
in,
on the
I'm
top.
ready to go. A bit of olive oil.
That's it. A little drizzle of olive oil. And you can get a little bit loose. You can go a bit crazy. Sesame seeds, especially on the pastry with the
sorry.
sesame
Okay,
seeds.
okay.
There we go. All around the
Focusing
outside
on
there.
the cheese. I was getting excited.
Ah, you like
a
it?
bit more, I reckon.
That's it. Go.
Yeah, I love cheese. You know, I have a real problem with cheese.
Oh, you
It's
love
all-
cheese?
Yes.
It's almost like your kryptonite, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You know, Preeya's good with everything. It's all healthy.
Actually, and in moderation, everything's healthy.
Bring out a nice wheel of Brie and you turn to putty, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay, Preeya, this is going to go into the oven, 220 degrees Celsius, for about 25 to 30 minutes. It's going to be nice and golden, puffy. The Brie will melt and go nice and golden brown. It will be delicious. I can't wait to put this in my mouth. Looks great, doesn't it?
It does.
Smells even better, that creamy cheese. Now, it's cooled down a little bit, so I'll just slide it off the tray and onto the board here. You just want to tuck into it, don't you?
It's beautiful. I'm loving the smells. You can smell the sweet pear, though, the cheese. It's a lovely combo.
I'm sort of looking, I don't know which way to cut or what to do. I should just rip it straight through the middle here.
Okay.
Oh, like that.
Wow. Oh, look at the Brie. Beautiful.
That's just fantastic.
Love it.
It's all nice and gooey. I'm just going to cut a piece off here like this, through the middle here, mash it
Nice.
all up, and we're just going to try some
Wow.
of that. Have a little taste of this Brie here.
Yes.
I'm going to pick that up for you.
The gooey Brie. Yeah, thank
Taste of
you.
that.
I'll
That's-
take it with my fingers.
That's
Thank
the best
you.
part. There's a bit of honey on there. There's some rosemary on there. I'm going to grab this fork here because, you know, I like to eat properly with my knife and
I
fork.
like to use my fingers.
Now, you could see me rocking up to a picnic with this or, you know, by the
a
poolside.
picnic. I can't imagine you at a poolside. Wow. What about a dinner party?
With a little basket skipping
Yeah,
down there,
I know.
skipping through the meadow.
That's not where I thought this was going. That is beautiful, though. That Brie is so lovely with the honey. I got a bit of the pear flavour as well. I'm just thinking from a health point of view, you could probably do something quite similar with the fruit and the cheese without the pastry. If you're trying to watch cholesterol, for instance, don't look so shocked. But I really love the flavour combo.
What's cholesterol? We need to have a talk about that.
We
don't
probably should.